Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator today and we're going to talk about an FPS game. This game is Enlisted. It was released not too long ago. Well, it's still in beta phase technically, but it was released not too long ago. And this is a game, interestingly, that has popped up on every single social media that I have. You know, there have been lots of advertising and I've been very intrigued about this game as a result because, well, it just didn't pop up on let's say, for example, YouTube or Twitter or Facebook for that matter, right? But I also got a lot of feedback here from Twitch as well, which is also quite interesting. And so I went to their website here, which is enlisted.net, and I had a look at what this game is about. So still here is in beta phase. There's an open beta. There's also a closed beta for some kind of campaigns. They want to have emphasize on scale, realism, variety. Can even have a flamethrower. I'm really looking forward to playing with a flamethrower. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of my favorite weapons of all time, right? Interesting looking graphics for sure. And it does seem that the game is based on squads, which is what you're going to have to rely on if you want to survive in the map, and also probably is what is going to populate the maps. You know, having players backed with NPCs is an interesting way to have more action while at the same time not overloading the servers with a tons of client, which is very smart, obviously. So, what are those squads about? Well, they say they're your personal army. Each squad consists of several soldiers who can be trained, equipped with new weapons and items, and taken into battle. You control one soldier personally, while others will be handled by AI and obey your orders. You can switch between soldiers and stay in the most interesting point in battle even after some of your soldiers have died. And it's not just going to be infantry. The game also features tanks and planes as well, which is definitely going to add some extra variety, right? There are 12 types of different specialists here, my favorite being the flamethrower, right? I have not been able to play as a flamethrower yet because, well, the grind is pretty intense. So we're going to talk about it later, of course, but I have been playing. I played against other players who have played as a flamethrower. It's very interesting because the environment is really burning when it happens. You guys check it out later, right? And also some snipers, bombers. You can actually put some TNT, the assaulter with submachine guns. I've played with that. It's very cool. The engineer, who is going more like a support role. The gunner here, more of a machine gun here, but when you have a machine gun, it's much heavier. Of course, the radio operator, which is going to be very helpful for the air unit. The flamethrower, as we mentioned before. The shotgunner as well. Some pilots as well as tankers. All right, guys. Well, we are also going to have a look at some of the other features here, and this is what they call campaigns. Now, this, I believe, is a little bit misleading because, well, I was hoping that these would actually be real campaigns, you know, with scenarios, but it's not the case at all. After all, it's a free game, right? So these so-called campaigns, I should say, are actually a series of maps that rotate when you get to play the game. So it's nothing more than that, but at the same time, it's nice to have a series of maps set on some particular environments based on World War II, and I like that quite a bit. Partnership here. Are you a content creator? Do you have more than 1,000 views on YouTube? Yes, I do on my other channel, but I have decided not to apply here because I want you guys to experience the real experience that most players would have, you know, with a free account, and that's also what I decided to do. I decided not to apply from the social media account in order to be able to do what most of you guys would be doing, which is play the game, you know, grinding the game and not buying all the extra gold and taking part of that business model. Speaking of business model, guys, we are going to have a look at what it is here. And, well, basically, it is kind of like a mix of pay to win and pay to save time at the same time, because you don't really have to pay all of those for all of those extras and all of those advantages in order to win. There is also a large part of skill that is involved as well. But if you get the so-called gold, right, or if you get those bundles, you're going to get access to extra extra commandos, extra units, extra skins as well, and it's going to definitely make it a more pleasant experience for sure. If this is what you are into, if you decide that you like the game and you want to support the developers, obviously this is going to be a choice that could be taken under consideration, but it is not something that is mandatory in order to enjoy the game and even in order to get highly ranked in a multiplayer game. So this is also something that I appreciate quite a bit here. So let's talk gameplay here, and this is obviously your classic FPS game, right? So if you are accustomed to this kind of genre, then you will be quite familiar with the controls of Enlisted. Now, in terms of how the game looks like, you can see that, well, these are not the top-notch graphics that you would find, for example, in Battlefield or Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? Obviously, but nevertheless, they still look quite decent, look quite functional. I'm playing here with pretty high frames, up to 80 to 90 frames per second, which is obviously very decent here. There are lots of different types of environments. You can be in open battle, enclosed houses here like this. Oops, still oh, I thought I was going to use the knife and I used the grenade here. This guy was trying to heal himself, but looks like I blew myself up as well as himself too. At least I got a kill, right? You can see I immediately respawned behind because one of my squad mates was behind and I was able to take over him, right? So that is something that is very appreciated here in this game. Is like you don't have to go back immediately to your respawn point. If you still have a couple of squad mates that are with you, you just respawn as them. Now this shot here is something that I particularly appreciate. Is it shows you the scale of Enlisted. It's not just here your single infantry unit, but you could see that there was also a little air assault here. In that field you also see some destroyed tanks, and this is what the squad is doing. You see you have lots of different enemies coming up at the same time. It's just a couple of players, but they are backed by the NPCs, giving you the impression that they are coming in high numbers, and it's great because it is definitely adding quite a lot in terms of immersion. Now there are varied different types of environments. Of course, here I'm trying another map, which is more like a swamp map, still in Normandy. I haven't tried the battles of Moscow, for example, or Tunisia, not yet. At least I've stuck to Normandy simply because, well, this is an environment that I am more familiar with. Now this time I am not playing as the Allies, but as a troop of the Axis, and you can see this is the second time that I'm bleeding out here, and you have the option to heal yourself. That is obviously also a feature that you find in other games too, but nevertheless adds a lot of immersion and a little bit of drama as well, because it's great that you have a second chance. You know, you take care of yourself, maybe you can get back in the battle, and I like that also quite a bit. I like the tactical aspect here. You don't have to go in a full frontal assault. If you want, you can hide in the environment like I'm doing here and try to catch the enemy from behind, which is what we'll be trying to do here as we're getting through the bushes, getting near the lines of the Allies. You can tell where they are with the bullets. Yeah, there's a group of them here, an entire squad behind that bush, and with this submachine gun here I get quite a few kills. That's what I told you guys. I'm using a free account here, and it does not prevent me from getting a lot of kills and enjoying the game too. Ouch. So yeah, it's free to play, but at the same time it is not necessarily pay to win, and this is something that I would like to emphasize once more. And so these were my first impressions of Enlisted, a free-to-play game made by the same creators of War Thunder. You probably have seen the advertisements, right, the ads on your social media, and well, having tried it for you guys, I think that this is definitely a title that I would play if I have like nothing to do, a little bit of free time, and I want to get some entertainment, right, some hot action, because, well, it turns out that I had a pretty good impression and I definitely enjoyed it. Well, let me know in the comments down below, guys. Is this the type of game that you would enjoy as well? Have you played War Thunder? What do you think of Gaijin Entertainment? Let me know everything in the comments down below. That's all for this video, guys. If you like this kind of content, you know what to do. The like button is just there, and the subscribe button as well. It would definitely help the channel a lot. As far as I'm concerned, I'll see you guys next time. This is the Eradicator. See you guys later.